Hey, this is Darryl Webster, Office 365 MVP. Just coming back to you about the Skype for Business broadcast meeting that I attended the other morning, hosted by Michael Gannotti for the Philadelphia Microsoft Center of Technology, and he was presenting about the OneNote Staff Notebooks. So I was attracted to that, or heard about that, and that thought, oh great, this is an example of how a Skype for Business meeting is going to be run by Microsoft using the current facilities available in the technical preview. And most importantly, I was also interested to see how it play out using Yammer as the conversation platform. As you saw from my previous video, I showed you how to connect the Yammer conversation panel to maybe your own internal network, or I also demonstrated how to connect it to the Office 365 network and to the Skype for Business IT Pro group in that network. And I do suggest that if you're going to do that to an external network and you don't own it, you do get permission from the network owners about using that as a facility. So anyway, I'll share with you a few reflections, a few screen grabs, and some live action of Michael's presentation, and some of the reflections I have about how Yammer was used during that meeting. Our meeting invite takes us through to the registration page where I can click on a View Online button to get through to what I thought was going to be the broadcast meeting. Where it took me actually was the phillymtc.com site. So the instructions were click on MTCTV and we go through to the Skype for broadcast meeting. I guess that Michael changes the link to that each time there's a new broadcast to be viewed. So we'll go down and have a look at what the Yammer panel looks like, and so the first impression I get is, okay, we've got Yammer down below the video content. I'll click on the login button so I can see what happens here, and I'm expected to log in using my account. So I will try that, and it takes me through the dance of let's go through to the Office 365 account and log in that way, because I'm using Yammer with my Office 365 tenant. So as I click into that and I have to choose the work account, I get this funny little overlapping thing going on with with a previous account that I've used, but I can log into that, that's fine, and eventually I get there. If I was already logged in, then I would have been able to connect straight through. Now, something that I didn't realize while I was joining in here on the network, that Michael had already invited me to the network using my email account. So that's why there was a step or two less, and I was able to get through to the account, and it's now loading up into that little pane. So this means that within this browser session I'm authenticated. So I closed it, I logged into Yammer again back in the meeting experience, and that loaded up the Yammer conversation panel alongside or within the meeting experience, and now I'm ready to make conversation alongside the broadcast that Michael's going to be hosting. And he's given a few instructions there about refreshing the browser at around 12 o'clock to make sure that things are all fine and ready to broadcast. So I go ahead and do that, just refreshing it by clicking into the address bar and restarting it. Doesn't really do anything at this stage. In fact, I believe that I've proved that it's connecting and it works, so I'm all ready to go, and it's not long before Michael actually starts the broadcast. So I thought, well, while I'm waiting, I will like his post, and I was considering replying to that and starting to make some conversation in there. Still interested to see what it's going to be like when it's actually the broadcast is starting. So here we are, the broadcast is beginning to start, and I have to scroll up to see the broadcast.
To Yammer, I have in front of me down here, I also have my laptop, and if you send an email to me at mgan at microsoft.com, put subject line MTC TV Yammer. Again, send an email to mgan, MGANN, mgan at microsoft.com. Subject line MTC TV Yammer. Put your name and your email. I need your work email. It won't work with Live and Hotmail and Yammer. It's an enterprise way for collaborating. But if you send me an email with that, during the broadcast, I'll periodically glance, and I can add you to the Yammer thread, and then you can ask questions, post comments, and participate in future.
So I believe another way that Michael could do this is when you look to join the network and you request an invite, then logged in to process those invites as you do from a network, you can accept those and people can join that way.
Hi, I want to welcome everybody. My name is Michael Gannotti, and welcome to This Month in Azure. My name is Michael Gannotti. I'm a solutions architect out of the Philadelphia MTC. I do apologize. Today, I'm not broadcasting from the MTC. Our whole network went down, so I had to jump in my car, rush home, but thanks to the power of Office 365 in the cloud, I'm able to sit here in my home office, and although I can't do all the demo stuff I would have done in the office for you, I can still have today's presentation sitting in my home office on my webcam on my Surface 3. So
it's very easy for me to make conversation here in the Yammer network. I'm just adding a comment, and it does take a little while for Michael to check in periodically through the presentation and answer those questions, and you'll see that a bit later on. But it's easy for me to participate in this conversation experience once I've joined. One further thing I'll show you, and you won't normally do this within the meeting, but I'll show you that within the same browser session, if we visit Yammer, it's going to pick up on the most recently visited network, which is of course the MASD network being used for the audience experience. And we can see the MTCTV group that is being used and embedded in the meeting experience. So I'm able to visit that, and I can see other groups within the network. I can see the conversation that I've made, and I'm able to get that full experience and participate in other ways after the presentation is completed. In this next clip, I'm answering one of the questions from a participant in the audience. She's asking where the videos are from the last session, and I had a quick look at the site and tried to find where those videos were. You'll notice as I put the URL in, it does go and fetch an image from the site. And one thing I want to point out is that as I post it, it disappears so that it doesn't distract people away from the presentation with the images and the like. It's just about conversation. However, after I've posted it, we go back to the full Yammer experience, and you can see as I refresh the messages there that the image is there, the prefetched image, and you get that full experience.
Storytelling, on the go, HoloLens. Oh, it's back even further than that. So let's go to the video archive.
Periodically, Michael pauses to check on comments and respond to them, and this is an example.
I'm not seeing it listed here either, Ann. So I'll tell you what I'll do. As soon as we finish, I'll put the link to that. We do have it.
By checking periodically and answering the comments, this is how a presenter will get around the delay between the real time and the audience experience of the meeting as they answer content that they're seeing about 30 seconds after it's actually been recorded. So we see that this conversation experience does work out within Yammer. It's a good way to do it. It's just a little bumpy trying to get into the Yammer network as Michael uses his example or his method of getting people to email him, and he invites them into the network by email name. I suggest that you have someone monitoring, and you ask people to request an invite to the network, and then from the notifications area as an admin you can process those requests as people ask to join the network, and that you do have someone else who's doing that on your team so that the presenter doesn't have to manage too much as they're really needing to present and focus on delivering great content like Michael did that day. So thank you for watching these tips. I think that the Yammer experience could be a little better, but it's going to be sufficient, and certainly will be good when you already have the audience that you're targeting as part of your network, and they can participate in ongoing conversations and be part of more interactions within the network after the presentation. So thanks for watching, and hopefully this has been helpful.